In this August 17, 2012 photo, female members of Indonesian Navy salute during a ceremony commemorating the Independence Day at Merdeka Palace in Jakarta, Indonesia. Indonesia's military and police continue to perform abusive virginity tests on female recruits 3 years after the World Health Organization declared they had no scientific validity, an international human rights group said Wednesday, November 22, 2017. Dita AlangkaraAssociated Press JAKARTA, Indonesia. Indonesia's military and police continue to perform abusive virginity tests on female recruits 3 years after the World Health Organization declared they had no scientific validity, an international human rights group said Wednesday. Human Rights Watch said senior Indonesian police and military officers have told it that security forces still impose the cruel and discriminatory tests, which are carried out under the guise of psychological examinations for mental health and morality reasons. The Indonesian government's continuing tolerance for abusive virginity tests by the security forces reflects an appalling lack of political will to protect the rights of Indonesian women, said Nisha Varia, women's rights advocacy director at Human Rights Watch. The group called for President Joko Widodo to order the national police chief and military commander to ban the practice. The testing includes the invasive two-finger test to determine whether female applicants' hymens are intact, which WHO in its 2014 clinical guidelines for healthcare of vulnerably abused women said lacks any scientific basis. Indonesia's military did not respond to a request for comment. 3 years ago it defended the practice as safeguarding morality. Police spokesman Setio Wasisto said the force stopped virginity tests 3 years ago. Currently, he said, health checks for male and female recruits include tests for venereal diseases and only female medical staff test female recruits. Human Rights Watch said it found that applicants who were deemed to have failed the virginity test were not necessarily penalized, but all of the women it spoke with described the test as painful, embarrassing, and traumatic. Human Rights Watch has also documented the use of virginity tests by security forces in Egypt, India and Afghanistan and criticized calls for virginity tests for Indonesian schoolgirls. It said all 3 branches of the Indonesian military have imposed the tests for decades and in some circumstances also extended the requirement to the fiancés of military officers. Copyright 2017 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten or redistributed.